Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kent Lutzen. The head of Puerto Rico's government power company says the agency will cancel a $300 million contract with Whitefish Energy Holdings. However, the contract requires a 30 days in advance notice before their work will end, which is the plan according to Puerto Rico's Electrical Power Authority. Questions arose after a multi-million-dollar contract to rebuild Puerto Rico's power grid was awarded to the two-person electrical company in Whitefish, hometown of Montana's former Congressman and now Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. On Friday, the White House denied that political connections led to a questionable contract to restore power in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria hit the island. However, today, Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello wants the contract canceled immediately.
In light of the information that has come about with regards to the contracting of Whitefish Energy, and in the interest of protecting our public interest, I have asked the Board of the Power Authority to invoke the cancellation clause in the contract immediately.
Whitefish CEO Andy Tekmansky said his company has 300 workers on the ground in Puerto Rico working to fix a crippled electrical system. Whitefish Energy responded to the termination of the contract in a statement, and part of it said the decision will only delay what the people of Puerto Rico want and deserve, to have the power restored quickly in the same manner their fellow citizens on the mainland experienced after a natural disaster. We'll have more on this story tonight at 10. Moving on to weather now, we have some clear and chilly weather coming. Let's go to our Storm Tracker Weather Center with meteorologist Russ Thomas for more. Russ?
Yeah, we do. It's been a pretty cloudy day across much of western Montana. We still do have that lake wind advisory. There we go. In effect until 6 p.m. So we are almost out of that advisory. Let's go ahead and show you what we've got here. You can see winds east-northeast 15 to 25, gusting to 40 miles per hour. And again, that is for Flathead Lake. Waves have been about 3 to 4 feet, but that does expire here in the next about 28 minutes or so. Cooler temperatures for sure. You're seeing temperatures mainly in the mid-40s up and down the valleys. Only 35 degrees in Phillipsburg with that breeze. Now, not only are we going to see a decent Halloween, but after that, some bigger changes. Your rest of your forecast is coming up.
Thanks, Russ. No injuries have been reported after an early Sunday morning fire at a home in Victor. The Victor Volunteer Fire Department, along with crews from Corvallis, Pinesdale, and Stevensville, responded to a home on U.S. Highway 93 just before 2 a.m. Victor Fire Chief Scott Hackett said that fire started in the area of the stove. Hackett added the structure had been through multiple remodeling phases, which made it more difficult to extinguish. At around 4:30 a.m., an excavator removed the roof of the house as crews worked for nearly 4 hours to control the flames. Hackett said the house is a total loss and the cause of the blaze is unknown. A man wanted on a felony warrant in Utah was arrested in Livingston after leading officers on a high-speed chase on Saturday just before 1 p.m. The Park County Sheriff's Office received a call of an erratic driver westbound being all over the road, speeding and slamming on the brakes, traveling in excess of 100 miles per hour, and endangering other drivers on I-90 in the area of mile marker 349. The driver name is Brian Wells and was booked into the Park County Detention Center on the following charges: driving with suspended revoked license, felony criminal endangerment, reckless driving, and eluding a police officer, and the investigation is still ongoing. An airman from Malmstrom Air Force Base is lucky to be alive today after he was almost shot Saturday night. Frank Rosette says he was getting ready to go to bed when he heard a loud bang and then noticed his TV had fallen over. That's when he thought his TV blew a fuse, but when he saw he was bleeding, he realized he was peppered with a shotgun blast. Rosette said his neighbors and the person who had shot the gun came running in and called 911. Rosette suffered superficial injuries and says he didn't realize how bad it could have been until he got home from the hospital.
I sleep up against the wall, and that's right where my face would have been, so that could have been seriously dangerous. And if I had been 6 inches forward grabbing my phone, I would have taken a direct point-blank shot to the rib cage, and that would have been obviously terrible too. So I'm definitely counting my blessings that all I got was just some superficial wounds, some cuts and bruises that'll heal up in a couple of days.
20-year-old Gavin Key has been charged with criminal endangerment for discharging the firearm. Cascade County Attorney Josh Rackey says Key is also facing a charge of minor in possession of alcohol. For the first time since 2011, the Montana Department of Livestock has detected cases of equine infectious anemia in the state. EIA is a potentially fatal disease for horses and is spread from insect bites. It can cause fever, weight loss, and other side effects. The disease was detected in multiple horses on a property in Gallatin County last week. Those results were confirmed by a national laboratory in Iowa. Follow-up testing on other horses on the property are underway, and the Department of Livestock has alerted nearby horse owners to be on the lookout.
Horses travel tremendously with their owners, and so there's the potential for animals that come from areas of the country where they do see more cases to come into Montana. Occasionally we find pockets of horses that, because they don't travel across state lines, which is a movement that requires a test, if they never travel across state lines, they've never been tested.
There's no known cure for equine infections anemia, although the state says cases of EIA have decreased since testing began in 1972. About 50 cases of EIA are diagnosed in the U.S. every year. This afternoon, Restyle Clothing Exchange and Loyola High School students teamed up today to offer great deals for an even better cause. Hundreds of community members lined up outside the Catholic School's Athletic Center to find clothes that have been donated by Restyle. It was $10 for a 13-gallon bag that you could fill with any items you wanted. Restyle has been gathering donated garments for over 5 months in preparation for this event. The partnership of Loyola and Restyle has provided a unique opportunity for all parties involved.
Yeah, in the past, we've had to pay several $100s for a facility, and with partnering with Loyola, they were very generous in donating the space and also donating volunteers.
So that helps a lot of community members get quality clothing at a very affordable price. In return, we're able to donate money to a great cause, and at the same time, this whole thing is recycling clothing.
This year, 100% of the proceeds go directly to Montana Special Olympics to help fund local athletes. After the break, it's been a decade since a tragic accident devastated a Butte family. However, after his daughter's death, one dad is hoping to save others' lives in the community.